What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raised.
Riverdale is back with a season premiere that is focused on wrapping up the previous season. Well, today we're going through this new chapter, one that is full of promises and excitement for onwards. So guys, without any further ado, here's Riverdale Season 5, Episode 1 Breakdown, and every detail you missed, even if you've already watched it a couple of times. A season premiere. So, as we said, this episode should have happened last year. It was filmed but not finished because of the coronavirus pandemic. After Season 4 ended, we were simply craving more. The result of the Betty and Archie kiss, Mr. Lodge's disease and his acts while coping with it, the dark videotapes arriving at the doorsteps of Riverdale residents, and most importantly, our favorite squad getting ready for prom. So as you can imagine, Season 5 will be one of Riverdale's seasons where we should expect some major plot twists, and without a doubt, this is the season that will change everything. Writers Ace Hassan and Greg Murray made the first episode perfect despite their struggles to bring out everything they planned. To be fair, it's a good episode. There's just this thing, that's no one's fault, it simply doesn't really work as a season premiere. What's interesting is that we saw how Archie's character is slowly changing, and if this is noticeable in the first episode, we can only imagine what we're about to see in the next ones.
Stubs have the letters B and V on them.
The hell? Like Betty and Veronica?
No, Blue Velvet.
Chaos. If you thought Riverdale Season 5, Episode 1 should present all the characters happy and harmonious, you were obviously wrong. This is certainly the most chaotic situation Riverdale was ever in, and this is simply because the show took over prom and graduation, which, as we said, they had originally planned for the end of Season 4. Now, let's get into the details. First and foremost, we need to go a little back. The big mysterious bad the show is now dealing with is called the Auteur. From sending videotapes of people's homes to a million other things, this is probably the most dangerous villain in Riverdale. In the latest video, we can see a group of people wearing masks of Archie and co. as they are killing Mr. Honey. That was the case of Jughead's brief narrative.
How are you?
I told Edgar I wasn't the mole. He cut it off. I make it through most nights without waking up screaming.
Honey is alive. Yes, Honey is still alive and is working with Charles, and we have no idea why, but Jughead and Betty decide to go to Blue Velvet Video and search for David, a guy that works there. So yeah, they both trust Honey, but David says he doesn't know a thing about the ticket stubs that the FBI discovered. Later, Betty accuses the front office lady at the high school of making the tape, for which we were all surprised. It's Betty after all. So while she's at the front office, she faces Mr. Weatherby, who's back to find out how everyone spent their quarantine days. Mr. Weatherby says he feels better now because I make it through most nights without waking up screaming. We've all been there, honey. Since there's nothing left to do, Jughead and Betty go to see Brett. And with the warning of Jughead's buddy Warbaby giving Brett a stop, he says that David runs underground screenings, but if you want to visit them, you need to bring David a snuff film to impress him.
Does he know why you're bouncing back?
I've been trying this new workout regimen that seems to be helping.
Betty and Jughead. Now, Betty and Jug can't actually kill someone, so they get Cheryl and Reggie to help them stage a snuff film. Here, the plot was quite dark and exciting, which is what Riverdale is mostly known for. Cheryl deserves an award for her originality and ingenuity. The snuff film they produced was a decent video job, and Cheryl and Reggie covered their slasher movie analogies. So it's her move to have the Black Hood video ready. Betty is ready for any surprising event, just like always. Her videotape would be too exciting for David to pass up, particularly from the daughter of the Black Hood. And this callback to the videotape is just the start of Riverdale Season 5, Episode 1's plot twists. When Betty and Kevin give it to David, he immediately knows it's a scam. So that's when Betty comes in hand. The video of her father, the Black Hood, as a child. David enjoys it, and they get an invite to the following screening, festival, rave. Later, Betty sneaks Jug in over the back door, with a purpose to find the room where the auteur's film is playing and reveal a stranger assuming it's their person? As you would expect, something goes wrong. Jughead starts a fight before they recognize someone in an owl mask, and they simply know that that's what they are looking for. However, they lose this person when they meet Jellybean. They get Jellybean to Pops, where she discusses her friend finding out about the rave from her brother who is on an email list. Archie and Veronica. Now let's go to Archie and Veronica and see what they were doing in this episode. Their purpose? Seeing Archie into the Naval Academy. Veronica takes things in her hand, understanding they have to change the conversation to Archie's best quality if he has any possibility of going in, which are, of course, his abs. Archie is left with another candidate, and they're fighting for the final spot. Then, Veronica recommends a boxing match. The other candidate? K.O. Kelly, Katie Keene's boyfriend. While Cheryl and Toni battle to be prom queens, it's Cheryl's dream, certainly. Veronica introduces Archie and K.O., and during their meeting, Archie says, "I'm bigger than I look, bro." Well, okay, and oh, K.O. is staying at Archie's house and sleeping on the floor of his room, if you didn't notice. Before the D-Day, before the anticipated competition, they all head to Veronica's place for a night out, and if you're anything like us, we believe while you were watching these scenes that follow, you were feeling so uncomfortable. To confuse Archie, Veronica starts singing the song she found in his bedroom, which is, of course, the love song he wrote for Betty. Let's go back to Cheryl. She seriously wants to meet Toni's family before prom, but Toni's not really happy with this. So when Cheryl goes over and meets them without any previous agreement with Toni, things go wrong. As it looks, the problem with her parents is Cheryl being a Blossom. Toni's family problem was quite surprising in the whole episode. At Archie's boxing match, Archie loses, but then the Naval Academy guy says he'd like Archie to apply again in the fall, and he's quite fascinated by our boy. But Archie says no thanks and quickly takes off. We can kind of understand the frustration. The prom. Now we're slowly coming to the end, and that brings us to the prom. The situation with Toni and Cheryl is great since Toni shows up at the end, and we have to admit that every character looked amazing. Betty looks as great as ever. Now, we all remember when Betty was interested in Archie, and they kissed last season. And from this point forward, things are about to get wild. On the dance floor, Veronica suggests she delay school for a year to work with Archie. Archie then informs her about the kiss with Betty. Cheryl and Toni are selected prom queens, and after that, prom is crashed. There are no lights, and a video starts playing. As Psycho Killer plays over the speakers in the video, you can see a group of people in their Archie and Co. masks killing someone behind the name David. Betty and Jughead turn the video off and run to see if David is still alive. The ending. At the very end, we can see Toni explaining to Cheryl that she needs to get home before midnight. According to Toni, her family needs some time to process this, and she's sure that things will be back to normal. Archie and Veronica talk about not telling Jughead about the kiss. Veronica shows how her character developed as she stays there. Shouldn't be any drama about this too. They'll get to graduation and live their lives separately. She later cries on his shoulder, and that was a moment we all felt. Will Jughead ever find out about the kiss? What do you guys think? The episode concludes with Charles putting out an APB for David and Archie finding a videotape on his doorstep. We can only imagine what will happen in the next episodes. Since it's Riverdale, we better prepare for some major plot twists and a lot of drama. What do you guys think about Riverdale Season 5, Episode 1? You can tell us in the comment section below. If you enjoyed our video, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you never miss any of them. As always, thanks for watching.